So today's topic is Coulomb's law in vector form. So if we can find force between two charge Q1 and Q2, magnitude as well as direction, then what is the need of Coulomb's law in vector form? We can find force between two charge using normal form of Coulomb's law. Then what is the need of Coulomb's law in vector form? Yes, it is necessary whenever problem involved 3D. Whenever problem is based on 3-dimensional, then we need Coulomb's law in vector form. By using Coulomb's law in vector form, we can easily solve the problem if problem involves 3 dimension. So that's why it is necessary to understand Coulomb's law in vector form. So look at here, Q1 charge is placed at any point in the space whose position vector is r1 with respect to origin O, and Q2 is another charge whose coordinate is x2, y2, z2 with respect to origin O, and r2 is the position vector of Q2 with respect to origin. And we want to know the force on 2 due to 1. So that's why we want to know the distance between the two charges Q1 Q2 in vector form. So that's why the head of r vector is on Q2. And what is r vector? R vector is position vector of Q2 with respect to Q1. The charge on which we want to know the direction of force or the magnitude of the force, the head of position vector will be on that particular charge. It is not very difficult to write Coulomb's law in vector form. We can write Coulomb's law in vector form very easily. Now look at here, this is force on 2 due to 1. So first write magnitude between two charge. So the magnitude of force between two charge is simply K Q1 Q2 upon r square. And what is r? R is the distance between the two charges. And write r cap means r cap along the direction of r vector, means write unit vector along the direction of r vector. R cap is equal to r vector divided by magnitude of r vector, that is equal to r vector divided by r. So if we replace the r cap by this, in this expression we get force on 2 due to 1 is equal to K Q1 Q2 upon r cube into r vector. And what is r vector? R vector is position vector of Q2 with respect to Q1, where we want to find the magnitude as well as direction of the force. So that's why R is equal to R2 minus R1. R is equal to R2 minus R1 can also be found using triangle's law. Look at here, we want to know the direction of force on Q2. That's why position vector R heads will be on Q2. So from this diagram, R1 vector and R vector is connected with head-tail combination. That's why R2 is the resultant of R1 vector and R vector. That's why we can write R2 vector is equal to R1 vector plus R vector. Now R vector can be written as R2 minus R1. So R vector is position vector of Q2 with respect to Q1. So that's why R2 minus R1. Now if we want to know the direction of force and magnitude of force on Q1, then definitely position vector R heads will be on Q1. And what is R vector here? R vector is position vector of Q1 with respect to Q2. Now we can also write Coulomb's law in vector form very simply in this case also. How? Force on 1 due to 2 equal to, first write magnitude. This is the magnitude, and then attach a unit vector along with this magnitude. And what is unit vector? This unit vector is along r vector, and this unit vector is equal to r vector divided by mod of r vector. That's why force on 1 due to 2 is equal to K Q1 Q2 upon r cube into r vector, where r vector is equal to r1 minus r2. In this case we are trying to find force on 1 due to 2. That's why R vector is position vector of 1 with respect to 2, which is R1 minus R2. This expression can also be seen from this diagram. R1 vector is actually the resultant of R2 and R vector. So that's why we can write R1 vector is equal to R vector plus R2 vector. Now R vector can be written as R1 vector minus R2 vector. So this is the Coulomb's law in vector form, and it is very simple to use, and we will apply this concept in a three-dimensional problem. Okay, either we write force on 2 due to 1, or we write force on 1 due to 2. In this formula of Coulomb's law in vector form, Q1, Q2 are always taken with proper sign. If Q1 is negative, then negative sign is substituted at the place of Q1. If Q2 is positive, then Q2 is taken as positive value. And one more important point in this formula is the head of R vector will be on that charge on which we want force. The head of position vector R will be on that charge on which we want the force in terms of magnitude as well as direction. Now, R1 is a position vector of Q1 with respect to origin, and R2 is a position vector of Q2 with respect to origin. The coordinate of charge Q1 is x1, y1, z1, and the coordinate of charge Q2 is x2, y2 and z2. So we can write R1 vector. R1 vector is equal to x1 I cap plus y1 j cap plus z1 k cap, and similarly R2 vector can be written as x2 I cap plus y2 j cap plus z2 k cap. So this is how do we write position vector if coordinate of a location or a point is given. It is like this, R1 and R2. Now look at here, a problem. 4 identical charges Q are fixed at corner of a square of side A. There is a square whose side is A, and at every corner there is a charge Q. So let us consider this is a square. At the corner is 1, this is 2, this is 3, and this is 4, and here is charge Q, here is also charge Q, and at location 3 charge is also Q. Find net force on the charge Q, small q, at a point P located symmetrically at a distance a by root 2 from the square of the charge. Means there is a fifth charge which is at a distance of a by root 2 from the center of the square. So this is the fifth charge whose distance is a by root 2 from the center of the square, and we are asking to find net force on this charge. Okay, if we try to solve this problem using vector form of Coulomb's law, then it is very necessary to locate the origin at appropriate position so that we can write coordinate of all the charges with respect to origin. So the selection of coordinate system is very important whenever we are trying to solve the problem using Coulomb's law in vector form. So that's why I selected origin at this position. I selected origin at this position, center of the charge, center of the square, so that we can write easily coordinate of 1, 2, 3, 4 and so on. So along this direction, this is y-axis and this is x-axis, and z-axis is along in this direction, and the charge Q, that is fifth charge, Suppose this is the perpendicular distance. This is the perpendicular distance a by root 2, and this is the point where charge small q charge is located. So the coordinate of charge q, x coordinate will be 0, y coordinate will be 0, and z coordinate will be a by root 2. Now coordinate of 2, this distance is a by 2, and this distance is also a by 2. So the coordinate of this charge is a by 2 comma 0. Z coordinate is 0 because this square is on the xy plane, and the coordinate of charge 1 is minus a by 2 and 0, and the coordinate of 4 is minus a by 2 and 0, and the coordinate of 3 is a by 2 minus a by 2 and 0. Now we will calculate first force on 5 due to 1. So force on 5 due to 1, that will be equal to K Q small q divided by RQ into R vector. And what is R vector? R vector will be this coordinate minus this coordinate. So 0 minus a by 2, that is a by 2 I cap. 0 minus a by 2, that is minus a by 2 j cap. A by root 2 minus 0, that is a by root 2 k cap. And the mod of this vector will be a. Mod of this vector will be a. That is r equal to root under a square by 4 plus a square by 4 plus a square by 2, that will be equal to, so force on 5 due to 1 will be equal to K capital Q small q divided by AQ into R vector, that is a by 2 I cap minus a by 2 j cap plus a by 2 k cap. 5 due to 2, that will be equal to K capital Q small q divided by RQ into R vector. Again R vector will be minus a by 2 I cap minus a by 2 j cap plus a by root 2 k cap. How? Force on 5 due to 2. So the coordinate of 0 minus a by 2, that is minus a by 2 I cap. 0 minus a by 2, that is minus a by 2 j cap. A by root 2 minus 0, that is a by root 2 k cap. Again the mod of R vector will be R. Again the mod of R vector will be R. Now this will be equal to K capital Q small q divided by AQ minus a by 2 I cap minus a by 2 j cap plus a by root 2 k cap. Now we will calculate force on 5 due to 3. So that will be equal to K capital Q small q divided by RQ into, where R vector will be minus a by 2 I cap plus a by 2 j cap plus a by root 2 k cap. So force on 5 due to 3. So 5 is here and 3 is here. So 0 minus a by 2, that is minus a by 2 I cap. 0 minus a by 2, that is plus a by 2, that's why plus a by 2 j cap. And a by root 2 minus 0, that is a by root 2 k cap. Again the mod of R vector will be a. That's why force on 5 due to 3 will be equal to K capital Q small q divided by AQ minus a by 2 I cap plus a by 2 j cap plus a by root 2 k cap. This is equation number 3. Now the last force on 5 due to 4, that will be equal to K capital Q small q divided by RQ into R vector, where R vector will be 5 minus 4, that is R5 minus R4, that is 0 minus a by 2, that is plus a by 2 I cap. 0 minus a by 2, that is plus a by 2 j cap. Root 2 minus 0, that is a by root 2 k cap. Again the mod of R vector will be a. So the magnitude, so the force is K capital Q small q by AQ into a by 2 I cap plus a by 2 j cap plus a by root 2 k cap. So equation number 1, this is equation number 1, this is equation number 2, this is equation number 3, this is equation number 4. So now using superposition principle, we will get total force on fifth charge due to all other charges. So we will use vector sum of these forces. So the net force will be F51 plus F52 plus F53 plus F54. Now look at very carefully. K capital Q small q by AQ is common in all the term. So K capital Q small q by AQ is common from all the terms. Now look at here. This is minus a by 2 I cap. This is plus a by 2 I cap. So this plus a by 2 I cap, this minus a by 2 I cap is cancelled out. This is plus a by 2 j cap. This is minus a by 2 j cap. That's why this term and this term cancel out. Now a by root 2 k cap and a by root 2 k cap. This is also in positive. This is also in positive. That's why it will remain. Now look at here. Equation number 2. This is minus a by 2 and this is plus a by 2. So gets cancelled out. And that is minus a by 2 j cap. This is plus a by 2 j cap. That's why this term also cancel out. Now a by root 2 and a by root 2, again all these terms are in positive, so will remain. So a by root 2 and here a by root 2 and here also a by root 2. So there are 4 terms of a by root 2. So the net will be 4 a by root 2. 4 a by root 2 k cap. So this is the net force on the fifth charge. Thank you.